What's up, folks? Getting ready to tie some let me start over that. What's up, folks? I'm getting ready to tie some catfish bush hooks so they can be reusable. I haven't done it in like 10 years. I try to follow all the rules and regulations. Make sure you check for Florida, myfwc.com, and they'll let you know everything. But I think I'm following the law. Here's a finished product. It's basically a 2-inch, maybe not even an inch by 6-inch stir stick. I made it about 18 foot long, and I even put a little monofilament leader on there to I don't know if it'll make a difference or not. I used to use them with just black cord, but I didn't have any black cord that I wanted at Walmart, so I got some white, figured I'd tie on some monofilament, and worst case scenario, they're not going to see it. So hang around, and I'm going to show you how I make this up, and maybe you can use them in the future so you can reuse your bush hooks. I got a little coffee can I got to put all of them in, and the idea on that is so that when I put them all in there, when I'm done, I can reuse them, and then when I get the fish off, if I'm done with it, I can wrap it back up. It takes a little while, but it's alright, and put it back all in the same spot. Alrighty, so we're gonna get a paint stick. I got it off of Amazon, box of 100 for like 10 bucks. I got a drill. Just gonna drill, I don't know how many holes matters, but I'm gonna do one on each side. That's gonna be one for the string and one for the tag. Alright. Now my first one I used 60-pound mono. I think I'm just gonna use 100 from now on, because I don't know about you other bush hookers out there, but I've seen some big old cats coming off them bush hooks. And 100 pound might not be enough either. Might need to change something up, but like I said, I haven't done this in years, so figured I want to just give it a try. So I just cut off about a 6-foot section. Doesn't have to be too fancy. Alright, first I got 5/0 Eagle Claw laser sharp hooks. I'm not looking for a super fancy hook. I really wanted the 4/0 instead of the 5/0, but I just wanted to get something going today, so I can go try this maybe tomorrow or the next day after that, even if it's raining. I don't got a whole lot of days I can fish, so I got to go when I can go, and I got some other things I got to do tomorrow. So I'm going to snail the hook. You've seen in my other video, go around, basically tying a uni knot, just starting in the back. Doesn't have to be pretty at first. I like to do it till it looks pretty. That's about 5 or 6 times. I like to use my teeth because it keeps everything over here tight. Pull it down, cinch it up, grab the hook, and cinch it up even further, all the way down on the eye. That becomes a knot, and it's not going to come undone. I've been tying those knots for around 30 years, and I've never had one fail. The only way you can get that off of there is that if you take a knife, turn the hook backwards, and cut it off. Really good knot. So we got a little 4-foot section here so far. Next thing I'm going to use is a little barrel swivel. It's a little tiny thing. I don't even know if you can see it. Little itty bitty tiny barrel swivel. These are called 46A Roscoe sleeve. I have a bunch of these from commercial fishing, and I'm just going to give it a try. So last time I bush hooked, I put the weight right up against the hook, and I'm wondering if that weight's going to get in the way or make them finicky. I mean, the visibility in the river is about 1 foot at best, so I'm just going to do about 6 inches up. You got to get these special pliers. Where'd they go? Oh, right here in front of me. So these have been used and abused for a long time. Down at the very tip it says 0.1 to 0.5 for barrel sleeve. Put it right in the center, line it up, and we're just gonna squeeze it tight. It ain't got to be super tight. I'm just going to be holding the weight up off the hook. Then I'm going to use one of these little fancy little beads. They're not fancy at all. I actually get them at Walmart for a 10-pack, but I bought them in a pack of 1,000 because I used them a bunch back in the day. Slide it down, and then I'm going to just get the first random weight I can find. I've got a bunch of weights, but a lot of them are on the other boat. So I got some 3 ounce, some 4 ounce, some 2 ounce. If I had unlimited supply of 2 ounce, I'd probably just use 2 ounce. I'll put the weight on, slide it down like so. And what I'm going to be using for bait is crawfish from a crawfish boil I just had. Let's see where I'm at here. And I got saved about 30-40 crawfish, and I'm gonna put those on there. I'm gonna go set them, and I'm gonna go play with my electronics I got on the boat, and then try to catch a crappie or a brim or something like that, and then come back and check the hooks. So now I'm gonna put this down. Just put it right here, make sure I don't step on it. I'm gonna get this yarn. And I don't know what the breaking strength on this is, but it's pretty strong. I'm just gonna do 18 feet, basically 6 feet on my arms 3 times. I'll be more than enough. There are some deeper holes in the river, but most of the branches are right up next to the bank, so you're probably going to be closer to the land and not need that much. I'm just figuring a little extra for wrapping around a tree branch or wherever you put it. So now I gotta do a uni to uni knot on this weight. I'm not too worried about all this extra slack. I'm just trying to make the mono a little, I don't know, 2 feet. It doesn't really matter. I just wanted to give something different a try. So here I'm gonna tie a uni knot. I'm just gonna go 3 times. I'm not gonna cinch it down real tight because this is monofilament. It's going against a very soft yarn, so the yarn is going to make it hard for the monofilament to slide. So let's do a uni to uni. I'm going to slide it down and pull it tight slowly because that monofilament is backing up on that softer yarn. Uni to uni. Now I'm going to cut off the slack. These are wire strippers, not dikes. All my dikes are in my other bag, which it's a mess in here right now, as you can tell. Basically a little mini Bass Pro Shops up in here. And I can't find the dikes at the time. So now, I got the uni to uni knot, a couple feet of 100-pound mono, a little stopper for the weight, and a hook. So I'm gonna put that down on the ground, go to the other side of the yarn. Twist it up, get nice and tight, and get the stick. And I'm gonna put the yarn through the stick. I'm gonna tie another uni knot. Just come around. I always just use 2 or 3 times, make it look pretty. There's a couple of times I use a uni knot where I use 10 or 12 or even 15 wraps, and that's for a very small braid until up into 40 or 60-pound mono. The reason I use more wraps on that little tiny braid is to build up the knot size, so when you cinch it together you have a bigger knot going against another big knot versus a little itty bitty knot, and it could maybe potentially slide through. Trim that off. Now, in Florida, I wish we could jug and or noodle or whatever you want to call it, where they float the lines down the river. In Florida, as far as I know, you're not allowed to do that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd love to do that. I've done it in Tennessee and Mississippi and Missouri, and it's a lot more fun to watch the float go down the river, and you just stay with it and pull them up left and right. So for a branch line in Florida, you got to have a name tag on it with your phone number and address. I'm not too fond of this. I guess that's one reason I'm using white line, and I'm also going to be using the GPS to mark the spot. So I've noticed in the past, whenever we did it, we lost a few of the lines because it was black line, it was hard to see. Well, this time I think we set 20 of them and we only got 19 back. This time I'm going to have this name tag on there, high visibility stick and line, so you can see it. And hopefully I don't leave any out, so not everybody in the world knows where I live at. I did put my parents' house instead of my house though. So I made these at work. I basically put my address on Excel and made a bunch of blocks, laminated a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and put as many as I could fit, and then I hole punched them. So it just says name tag. It doesn't say anything about how pretty it's got to be. I did try to go get some aluminum ones, but aluminum name tags are a little more expensive than a piece of paper. And I know this piece of paper is probably a single use only because it's going to get wet and then it's going to be darkened. It's going to not become where you can't read it. But that's okay. I got a bunch of them. And anytime I go fishing, I always check my knots anyhow. So it'll be a good time to check everything out. Put the name tag on there. I got a little zip tie on there. So I got basically the stick only serves the purpose of cooling the line up and I guess the name tag. I mean, if you had some fancy aluminum name tags, then you could probably use the name tag all in one. But like I said, I hadn't done this in several years. I just wanted to do something different. So I'm just going to wrap it up several times. It takes a little while, but it keeps everything nice and tidy. That way when I get out there, all I got to do is take the hook off the stick, bait the hook, drop it down, and tie it off, and I'm done. Versus one of these takes me 5 minutes to make. I could probably make them a little bit faster, especially if I didn't use the mono to uni. But I got plenty of time right now, and I just want to make sure that I'm set to go. So when I get there, all I gotta do is go fishing, not rigging. So now I'm just gonna take the hook and go back through that hole. I found better if you use the hole that doesn't have the yarn in it, because you know how yarn is. You get a hook in it, it's hard to get out. So I'm just gonna go back in one of the holes best you can. Come through. I'm just trying to keep that hook to where it's all in one unit. That way, when I get 25 of them in the bucket, they don't get all tangled up. And in Florida, recreationally, you're only allowed to bush hook 25. Any more than that, you're considered commercial. 25 is a lot, I know. But if you got time, you put out 25, you let them sit. I know it's better to do at nighttime, but if you let them sit, you come back and get 10 catfish out of 25 lines. That'd be a good day, right? I'm not too much into the night activity out in the river. I have all the equipment to do it. I just prefer to do other things. So we're gonna give it a shot, and hopefully here in a few days I'll have another video with some catfish on it. Take it easy, y'all.